Welcome back to Sports Cards Analysis. I'm JT with another case break analysis. Today we got a big one. It's 2023 Bowman Draft. This is going to be quite a big video. I'm going to give you, for those who are new, I'm giving you all of the insights. These are the teams you need to buy. This is the amount of money you should spend. This is the ROI that you should get back. However, I have to give you a disclaimer, which I'll get to in a second. Let's first look at the cards here. We got a lot of awesome stuff. Bowman Draft, it's just like Bowman. Very popular for its first Bowman, Max Clark. There's a popular name in this product. A lot of young people, if you're a dad of teenagers, this product is typically kind of weird because these kids are like just a couple years older than my own kids. However, this product is going to contain a 1995 Bowman Draft Tom Brady autograph. There's a 1 of 1, a 1 of 25, and a 1 of 50. The 12 of 50, that one's got a huge bounty on it, $500,000 from a big Tom Brady collector. He's inscribed these if baseball doesn't work out. There's always football. Tom Brady, multi-Super Bowl champion, 7 championships? That's insane. Disclaimer here, I'm not going to ask you for anything. If you hit and you use my videos to hit, you use my videos to get a profit, to gain ROI, to figure out what teams to buy. But I also am not going to ask you to blame me if you don't hit, okay? That's the agreement we're going to enter in here. I'm not at fault if you don't hit, and I don't have to ask you, and you don't have to give me anything if you do hit. This is free. I'm giving this to you for free on YouTube, okay? Let's talk about Bowman Draft, and let's figure out exactly how you should spend your money, where you need to focus your attention. Now, this price that Steel City has Bowman Draft Jumbo, $4,324, this actually is higher than some of the breakers that I've seen. So why do I list this price? Well, I think this is a fair price for breakers to charge and get a profit. One, because they don't pay Steel City prices. Breakers get deals, okay? They get their cases a little cheaper. So when they mark them up so that they can make a profit, I feel like this is a decent price that they could charge in their breaks and have all the teams individually add up to this price. They could even throw in a little extra for that Tom Brady random, okay? Because the Expos are not a team in this product. You could throw it into the Nationals, or you could random it off, which I've seen like Sports Card Nonsense. I know Eddie Mancini. This guy's breaks are amazing. I've been in some of them. Right now his prices are actually less than this. But the only reason I'm mentioning, I don't have any deals with breakers or anything. I'm not like advertising anything, but Sports Card Nonsense or SCN breaks they're randoming off the Tom Brady. So if you're in the breaks and the Tom Brady hits, they're randoming it. So everyone has a chance to get it. That's cool. So the reason why I mentioned Steel City's prices here, please stick with me for this video. This is going to be like super rich analytical content, and I know some of you don't care for that, but this is so important stuff. This is how you should really, you gotta research before you buy. This is why you don't play slot machines. It's gambling. I'm giving you the information that you might need in Bowman Draft so you wouldn't be gambling. This is more informed decision making. So 43, 24, 95. The reason why I mentioned that price is because let's assume that instead of paying for the value of certain players and the number of autographs, or the value of those autographs, you're actually paying for the probability of getting a hit. If I would, in a perfect world, you would pay for probability instead of paying for value, especially with a product like Bowman Draft, where the prospects that are high value now might actually not be high value later. I mean, go back, do yourself a favor, and go watch 2013 breaks. Bowman Chrome, Inception. And you're going to see breakers pass by Aaron Judge autos like this guy's a nobody scrub garbage autograph, okay? And now it's worth so much money. This is what Bowman Draft's all about. It's about prospecting. It's about collecting and holding, and then in the future, go rummaging through your cards and being like, holy crap, I can't believe that I found 3 Luis Arias autographs in my collection, which is exactly what happened to me. First Bowman, Luis Arias. I had them just sitting around from like 2017, I want to say. Bowman, that's pretty awesome. Chrome autos, I just have them. They're like in pristine condition. I'm going to get them graded. Anyway, so what if we don't pay for the value and instead we pay for the probability of getting a hit? The way you do that is by betting on the teams that have the most frequency, the highest frequency of hit. Okay. So let's sort right now. We got this table. This is a table sorted by autographs. Which team, and I will admit right off the bat, there are some assumptions I had to make about print runs. So if the autograph isn't numbered, I actually just assumed that it was in between 5 and 600. Okay, the refractors autos are numbered 499. So anything that's not numbered, I just assumed it was like under 600, just because I don't feel like a prospect's going to sit there and sign 1,000 of them. Maybe the print run is 1,000. And if I'm wrong, instead of calculating it, I just made a guess, an assumption, an educated guess, but I made that guess equal over all the players. That way, if I'm wrong, I'm equally wrong for all these, and these numbers, this order, the rank order is still correct. And this price that you should pay is still correct. So what you should do is, I know it's taken a while to get here, but if you paid for probability, this is the price you should pay. I've seen the Giants only really going for about $150. So if you want to pay, if you find the Giants for up to $250, that's a reasonable amount to pay, just assuming you're going to walk away from a break with the most autographs. This does not say you're going to walk away with the highest return on investment, the most profit. You're going to walk away with the most autographs. And really with these first Bowmans, that's kind of what you want. Some of these kids are coming out of high school. Some of these international drafts, they're unknowns. And maybe they'll be great, maybe they won't. But you want to walk away with the most first Bowman autos. Personally, that's what I would go for. And so if you want the highest probability, go with the Giants, then the Mariners, then the Guardians, Orioles, Diamondbacks. These teams will give you the highest probability of walking away, of leaving the break with the most autographs. Okay, let's look at page 2. These are teams 11 through 20. Take screenshots. Use this when you purchase. I don't care if you use screenshots. Share them with your friends. I don't care. Just refer them to my videos in the future. Okay, there's all of them. Now we get to the double teams, the Montreal Expos. Uh-oh, we got a couple of those. Who is that? That's Tom Brady. Anyway, I'm just kidding around. So we could skip over the inserts and the parallels because everyone's going to probably hit a refractor of some sort. Every team is going to be represented almost certainly. But let's look at the total number of cards. Let's say that instead of walking away with the most autographs, you want to walk away with the most cards, period. Base cards, chrome cards, refractors, inserts, parallels, and autographs. Well, this is the order you should consider, and this is the price. You will walk away almost certainly. The Mets will have the most cards. And I'm going to say this, and I say it time and time again. Breakers who say they're not shipping base, skip that break. As a breaker, it's your responsibility to ship all cards. That's my opinion. As a consumer, you should receive all cards. You don't know whether or not those cards are going to be valuable, base included. Okay, these are the same people who will turn around and have PSA 10 graded prospect Bowman cards of like Acuna and stuff. Get your base. Get the base. I don't care if it's first Bowman. I don't care if it's rookie. I don't care if it's just some second-year prospect like Jackson Holiday. Base ships. If you want to pay for the highest probability of walking away with the largest stack of cards, of all the different types of cards, go with the Mets, okay? Because they have this is the highest probability that you're going to get a hit. Yeah, you might walk away with a ton of base, but I'm telling you, it's the most. You have the highest probability. You might get some refractors in there. And this would be a price that you should feel comfortable paying, $305.10. Not that I would pay $305 for the Mets, okay? I wouldn't. But this is just like this would be just if you were paying for the probability of getting a hit. And this assumes that there's a lower print run on the base set than there actually is. You could probably add like 10,000 to 20,000 more cards to this just based on the base set print run, the paper base. But actually, let's just go off this. This assumes there's a 1,500 card print run. The only reason I scale that number down to 1,500 is because I create a row in my data for every card. And if I created one for 20,000 base cards, I would crash my computer. It's just too much data for all the base sets. So anyway, having said that, this is the price. This column here, is the price you should pay if you want the highest probability of a huge stack of cards getting shipped to your house. There's page 2, 11 through 20. I'm going through all these a little slower than normal because I hope to get new viewers here. And if you've never seen my videos before, I want to make sure that you're informed. Okay, so there's the top 30 results there. Now, you're probably thinking, I don't want to pay for probability. I actually do want to pay for the value of the team. I want to pay for the team that has the highest value players, the best prospects, the highest, most touted guys that I could turn around and make a profit on eBay. Okay, well, that's great, because what I've done here for you is I've developed a system that ranks players by the value of their card. I assign a value to every single card in this set. Every card gets a value, whether it's a base card at 40 cents or a one-of-one superfractor auto at a few $100s to a couple $1,000s. I assign those values, and then I turn around and I'm going to show you the return on investment on average. I also rank players by their value based on whether or not I think they'll sell. So not selling a player at all, that's a 1. Holding onto that card, losing money basically. Or selling at a loss. You will sell it, but you're going to sell it at a lower value. That's a 2. Now, if you're going to make a ton of money, let's talk about like an Ohtani auto. That's a 5. A Trout auto. Profitable ROI, probably that's a 4. And then break-even point's going to be a 3. So I have this scale, and now I'm going to grade this set. The problem with draft, okay, also, before I get into that, the key thing here, the thing that I take the most pride in, and the thing I think you need to stick around for the most, is I simulate 200 case breaks. I've built an algorithm using Python and R, 2 programming languages, to simulate case breaks based on the pack configuration, some of the stated odds of different cards, and how the rollout should be within a case. So how many refractors should you have, how many autographs should be in a case, how many base cards, how many inserts, all that stuff. And I simulate 200 case breaks. The reason why I do that is because now we can tell without a reasonable doubt what type of cards we should hit in one break. 200 simulations, so that we can really boil it down to one break. We got to spend our money, and we want to spend it wisely. So how does this product kind of turn out? Well, because it's prospects, you're going to look at this and be like, what? There's so many 5s in here. Yeah, Jackson Holliday's in here. We got Max Clark. We got all these really good prospects. The problem with prospects is there's not a lot of data on them. So until they become pros, like major leaguers, not pros. Everyone's a pro in the minor leagues. Once they become major leaguers, then these numbers start to fill out. But right now, a lot of them are sitting at a 1 and a 2. So I'm not even going to give you a full product value here. I'm just going to say not applicable. It's hard to judge Bowman draft. Some of these guys are 5 years out from even being in the major leagues. And once they hit the major leagues, they're going to tear through it. They're going to tear it like Aaron Judge. I think Aaron Judge took 5 years in the minors to get to the major leagues. I don't remember exactly. But that, Carlos Correa, no, not Carlos Correa, but Jose Altuve took 3 years. So we don't even know what these guys are going to be, okay? And so let's look at what is the value of these players, what's the value of the checklist, and how much return on investment should we expect for 200 case breaks? Well, after 200 case breaks, I've rated the checklists here. So a 1, the lower the number, the better the checklist. And 1 means that the strength of the checklist is super high. We hear a lot of people complain about like Panini with the watered down checklist where they put, mostly scrubs, mostly bench players in the autographs, and then 1 or 2 really good players. Well, I wanted a way to quantify that because I want to prove that some of these companies are watering down their products. And given that, which team should we really put our focus into? Again, with draft, it's hard, but because Jackson Holliday's in this and there's a bunch of really good Orioles prospects, Orioles have the highest full strength. The base set, not so much, but who cares about that unless you're just like a fiend for grading? The autographs is really what's important here. The Orioles have the most high value autographs. And what strength really means is that they have the most strong autographs, the most high value autographs. That doesn't mean that there's not high value stuff in the other teams. Like, look, the Texas Rangers, they're not rated as high as far as full strength, but they have really high value stuff even though it's infrequent. So you don't get it as often. The strength is very low, but when you do hit, you hit big. And we'll see that throughout the theme here. But let's focus on this column here, which is average ROI per case for 200 case breaks. So what I do is I run 200 case breaks as a simulation. I add up the ROI and divide it by 200. That's why this number seems low, because I divide it by 200. You don't hit a Diamondbacks autograph in every single case. And I'll show you that in the next table. Okay, so here's what it is. The Orioles by far gave us the best return on investment over 200 case breaks. Then the Rangers, then the Expos, even though I really only hit that Tom Brady card in like one case, or maybe the base cards in a couple. The average here is because the autograph is worth so much and the base card's not as valuable, it brings the ROI down. But it's still up there. So it actually is kind of worth it to get in these breaks for that Tom Brady. All right, so there's 1 through 10, there's 11 through 20, and there is 21 through 30. Those are the teams, the first 30 teams. That's all I'm going to go through here. As far as ROI per team, the Phillies just give a low ROI. They just don't have as much value. The strength of the checklist is super low. The ROI is low. Avoid them. But the top, Orioles, Rangers, Giants, definitely Giants are in there. All right, so now you're thinking, well, I don't care about 200. I actually want to know what is the ROI, the return on investment, when it hits. Only when it hits. I want to know how much money I'm going to make when it hits. Well, here's how you read this table. Here's the team that we're talking about, and here's the hit type. It's either an autograph, a parallel, which will be the refractors, or an insert card, or base. Then we have the ROI and the number of cases that type of card hit. So in 63 out of 200 cases, there was a Texas Rangers autograph. That's how you read this. And when I did hit, the return on investment was $461. So by far, when the Texas Rangers autographs hit, they hit hard and they give a good ROI. However, they only hit in 1/4 of the cases. So for every 4 cases that are opened, one of them, give or take a little, hits a Rangers autograph. So that's where 63 comes from. Now, Orioles autographs hit far more. Every 4 cases, 3 cases have an Orioles autograph. Does that mean that it's always valuable? No, but it is valuable. $408 on average in those 156 cases. So that's how you can read this table. I'm going to go through maybe 10 pages, and you're going to just think to yourself, okay, this is how often that type of card hits. Take screenshots. The Brewers autographs hit in 91 cases. That's half the time. So at half the time, you pick the Brewers, you might actually get a hit. That should be representative of the real world because I put a lot of work into this simulation. All right, and I've confirmed it. I've bought into breaks using this. So there's page 1 through 10. There's 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, and now we're getting inserts, parallels, base, all kinds of stuff. What is the overall value? Now we're looking at an ROI that's pretty low because you're going to get on eBay and start to sell these cards, and you might actually not make a lot. But those autos, man, they're worth a lot. And don't take this for at face value. Some of these, in 200 cases, you're going to get a Dodgers base. That doesn't mean you're only going to make $2 from it. That means on average you're going to make $2. You might make $30 from all the base you get. We just don't know. There's page 8. All right, that's probably good. 8 pages. Back to the first one, and there's your top 10 again. So now I really want to kind of show you what is the rarity of the sets themselves. And one big major component to this is that Tom Brady thing. Ignore the 0% because it rounds down. The Tom Brady autograph only hit in 1 case, and that was the orange. I went back and checked, and it was the orange variant out of 25. And that ROI, it's kind of rough because the Tom Brady autographs all come from football. They don't have the same hype as the 1995 Bowman draft. So it's like, how do I price this? I just used his football autograph numbers to price this out of 25, which is about $2,000. So far and away, high ROI. But look at how often it hit. In 200 case breaks, only got 1. That includes, I think, the gold. That includes the 1 of 1, obviously. So it's rare. 200 cases, you only get 1. That means that you need to break a lot of cases of this to get just a few chances at this Tom Brady card. Now there's draft night, and this is obviously a parallel. I'm not exactly sure which one. I thought I had added the parallel name, but I didn't. So now we have it's just very infrequent that these hit. Mood ring autographs only hit in 7 cases. So it's a pretty rare insert auto set. Class of 2023 autographs only hit twice. So you can see as I scroll down this that, this is Chrome Prospects autographs. This is probably some sort of parallel. I apologize for that because as you go down, it gets, you get more of them. Like here's base set. These are parallels. You get them in every case. And so I should really put the parallels in there, but I didn't. But I wanted to show these ones, these insert autograph sets. That's the key takeaway, is how rare they are. So when you go to price your cards on eBay, keep that in mind. Not a lot of people are going to have these cards. These are going to be pretty rare. Now, I really wanted to highlight some things about these prospects. This is not something I normally do in my videos, but I wanted to rank the autograph value by player in this set, and I do it a couple of ways. I go on this prospectslive.com, which I think I should be able to pull up the website here. Yes. So this person, Max Arterburn, he puts out this really in-depth analysis, some of the best in-depth analysis. He tiers all the players, gives them a rank and a ceiling, a risk and a ceiling. And so some of these guys have a 10, but their risk is really high. Some of them have a low risk and their ceiling's really high, and etc. But he does this really great analysis, and I mean, it's so good. I read a lot of these and I'm just so impressed with it. I used his analysis to help me price things out. The other thing I used was this Fangraphs future value. The future value is a prediction of how much WAR, wins above replacement, as some of you guys are checking out now, I know it, but just stick with me. This is a good way to price your cards out. What is the wins above replacement in the future for the first 6 seasons of Major League Baseball that each of these players will have? So that's what future value represents. And it's 20 through 80, 80 being like top 5 player, and then you can kind of go down from there. So I use that to create a value for all these cards so that I'm at least somewhat accurately assigning a value for these cards. And then I rank them. And the number 1 player by far is Paul Skeens. And you're going to be like, well, actually, Drew Jones is probably should be higher than him. Jackson Holliday should be higher than him. That's technically true if it was their first Bowman, but it's Paul Skeens' first Bowman, so that's why he's the highest. So, and he's actually got a future value of 60, which is the highest on this list. The future value is 60. It's equal for both of them. The one thing I didn't like about Fangraphs future value is that even though it's a good metric for baseball analysts, for pricing analysts for baseball cards, I didn't like it because it also factors in how far away from the major leagues that player is. And I didn't really like that. So that's why I used that website, prospectslive.com, and those tiers, ceiling potential and everything. So I have a really well-rounded price, which I'm not showing you, but I do rank them by player. So take a look at this and screenshot it. Now you have I think you have a really good, well-rounded order. Color Yastrzemski obviously is not a prospect. That's why he's got no numbers here. He's just in the checklist, and I'm not going to take things out of the checklist. So anyway, this is the order that you can go. This is the first 20. Let's just go like a couple pages in, and you can screenshot this, and then really when you start to look at who you're hitting when you buy into these breaks, now this should give you a pretty good idea of like how valuable those players actually are. Don't believe all the hype that some of these breakers and some of these people who buy into breaks, they're just follow the trends. But really look at the stats. Who are these players and how good are they? And are their cards going to be worth money? Because that's really what this is all about. It's about profit. Okay, so there's 4 pages of that. Now, number of cards per player. Let's just look at who has the most autographs. Blake Mitchell has the most autographs in this set with 8,200. Again, with some assumptions made about the print run, but equal assumptions made across the board. Colt Emerson, Bryce Eldridge, Wyatt Langford. Paul Skeens has 7,800. So not totally rare. That's one thing people forget when they're buying Bowman, is that these autographs are pretty common. I mean, they're asking these prospects to sign thousands of cards. And I might actually be underselling how many cards these guys are signing. So there you go. There's for autographs, a few pages of that. Numbers for each team, we kind of already went over this. Don't look at the unique cards because that doesn't tell you the full story. Look at the print run. And when we explode the print run out, here's the order for the top 10 teams. There's 21 through 30. Or that was actually 11 through 20 and 21 through 30 here. Take your screenshots. Use that to make purchases. Now, if you chase one-of-ones, you might recognize that there's a lot more one-of-ones than people like to admit. Like in Bowman Draft, there's 2,769 one-of-ones. That's a lot of one-of-ones. One-of-ones aren't that rare. They're just rare for that one card because there's only one of them. But totally, you should be able to get some one-of-ones in this product. And here's the teams in order for their one-of-ones. Okay, Mets, Mariners, Orioles, Reds, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Giants, blah, blah, blah. You can read it. So if you want one of ones, if you're chasing them, buy teams in that order. All right. Now with the 200 case break simulations, the first thing I do, I'm going to show you one case. It's the 200th case. And the reason I do that is just so you can set your expectations for the quality of case break that this would be. Everyone goes into case breaks thinking that every card's going to be an Ohtani auto or, Connor McDavid autograph with the hockey guys. No, there's good and bad. This one happened to have a 1/1 Max Clark Bowman base superfractor. That's freaking awesome. But there's also some not so great prospects in here with low print runs. There's autos that are pretty low. Let's look at the autographs. How many autographs we got? We got 24 of them, and that's 24 per case anyway. So here's the set your expectations based on these quality of autographs. Okay, there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, some unnumbered ones. There you go. That's what you should expect here. Don't think that every card's going to be like a bajillion-dollar card. All right, now for 200 case breaks. Now we're getting into the 200 case break simulation. These are the results of 200 case breaks. For 1/1s, if you're chasing those, there was 62 1/1s within 200 case breaks. That means that less than half the time, just over a quarter of the time, there will be a 1/1. So for every 4 cases, there should be one 1/1. Got it? And these are the quality, mostly printing plates of the 1/1s that you should expect. There's the second page of that. Lots and lots of printing plates. There's 4 printing plates for every base card. 4 printing plates, I think, for every prospect chrome card. Just tons and tons of them. Now you might be thinking, okay, that's great. I got the overall. Now, how does the ROI vary by team for each break? Well, that's a good question. So sometimes, you have teams that really excel, like the Texas Rangers, but sometimes other teams emerge, like here, the Twins. This blank spot here, this blank spot in the middle, this is Montreal. So sometimes it's filled in, sometimes it's not. This one, I can't remember what that is. We'll see it in a second. But this is how the team ROI, return on investment, changes per break. So it's not always the Texas Rangers. It's not always the Orioles. Sometimes it's a different team. Like here, you got San Diego and San Francisco. So keep that in mind, that just because I told you that the highest ROI is the Orioles doesn't mean that it is always the Orioles. Sometimes it's the Rangers. Sometimes it's the Twins. Sometimes it's the Guardians. It's just different teams every time. Look at the Twins up there. So this illustrates just how sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's really all there is to it. Now for 200 case breaks, here's the order in the teams for the cards I got. Remember when I said if you want to walk away with the highest stack of cards, pick the Mets? Well, in 200 case break simulations, I walked away with the most Mets cards by like more than 15,000 extra cards for the Mets. So there's that order for the first 20 teams. What about 1/1s? How did I do with those? Well, I got 6 for the Twins, 5 for the Yankees, 4 for the Diamondbacks, and you can read the rest. So if you're chasing those 1/1s, if you're chasing low print runs, these are the teams that you should buy. Okay, there's that table there. Take a screenshot. That's just the first 20. You don't need them all. All right, number of cards for each team by card type. So autographs, base, inserts, parallels. That's what's in this set. Here they are. For autographs, the most is the Giants. For 200 case breaks, this is not the master checklist. This is for 200 case break simulations. Giants, Orioles, Reds, Diamondbacks, Guardians, Mariners. You can read it. There they are. First 20 teams for autographs. Let's see who had the most parallels. The Mets. Of course they did, because they had the most cards. Mariners, Orioles. There you go. That's it. It's just not in a nutshell. That's in like a huge box of nutshells, because I just talked forever. That is 2023 Bowman Draft. Huge analysis, huge breakdown. Let me know if you hit. Share your hits, comment, subscribe, like, do whatever. I don't know what YouTubers say. Just do it all and just enjoy yourself. That's the point of collecting. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Good luck.